Hi, I'm back. And I will be using this Bible for this week's Torah portion. Okay, and this week's Torah portion is Leviticus chapter 6 to chapter 8. Leviticus chapter 6. And the Lord said to Moses, if anyone sins against me by refusing to return a deposit or something borrowed or rented or by refusing to return something entrusted to him, or by robbery or by oppressing his neighbor, or by finding a lost article and lying swearing that he doesn't have it. On the day he is found guilty of any such sin, he shall restore what he took, adding a 20% fine, and give it to the one he has harmed. And on the same day he shall bring his guilt offering to the tabernacle. His guilt offering shall be a ram without defect, and must be worth whatever value you demand. He shall bring it to the priest, and the priest shall make atonement for him before the Lord, and he shall be forgiven. Then the Lord said to Moses, give Aaron and his sons these regulations concerning the burnt offering. The burnt offering shall be left upon the earth of the altar all night, with the altar fire kept burning. The next morning the priest shall put on his linen undergarments and his linen outergarments, and clean out the ashes of the burnt offering, and put them beside the altar. Then he shall change his clothes and carry the ashes outside the camp to a place that is ceremonially clean. Meanwhile, the fire on the altar must be kept burning. It must not go out. The priest shall beside the altar. Then he shall change his clothes and carry the ashes outside the camp to a place that is ceremonially clean. Meanwhile, the fire on the altar must be kept burning. It must not go out. The priest shall put on fresh wood each morning, and lay the daily burnt offering on it, and burn the fat of the daily peace offering. The fire must be kept burning upon the altar continually. It must never go out. These are the regulations concerning the grain offering. Aaron's sons shall stand in front of the altar to offer it before the Lord. The priest shall shall then take out a handful of the finely ground flour with the olive oil and the incense mixed into it, and burn it upon the altar as a representative portion for the Lord, and for the Lord, and it will be received with pleasure by the Lord. After taking out this handful, the remainder of the flour. After taking out this handful, the remainder of the flour will belong to Aaron and his sons for the food. It shall be eaten without yeast in the courtyard of the tabernacle. Stress this instruction, that if it is baked, stress this instruction that if it is baked, it must be without yeast. I have given to the priest this part of the burnt offerings made to me. However, all of it is most holy, just as is the entire sin offering and the entire guilt offering. It may be eaten by any male descendant of Aaron, any priest, generation after generation, but only the priest may eat these offerings made by fire to the Lord. And Jehovah said to Moses on the day Aaron and his sons are anointed and inducted into the priesthood, they shall bring to the Lord a regular grain offering, a tenth of a bushel of fine flour, half to be offered in the morning and half in the evening. It shall be cooked on a griddle using olive oil, and should be well cooked. Then brought to the Lord as an offering that pleases him very much. As the sons of the priests replace their fathers, they shall be inducted into office by offering the same sacrifice on the day of their anointing. This is a PETUAL law. These offerings shall be entirely borne up before the Lord. None of it shall be eaten. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell Aaron and his sons that these are the instructions concerning the sin offering. This sacrifice is most holy, and shall be carried before the Lord at the place where the where the burnt offerings are killed. The priest who performs the ceremony shall eat it in the courtyard of the tabernacle. Only those who are sanctified, the priest may touch this meat. If any blood sprinkles onto their clothing, it must be washed in a holy place. Then the clay pot in which the clothing is boiled shall be broken, or with a bronze kettle is used. It must be scoured and rinsed out thoroughly. Every male among the priests may eat this offering. May eat this offering, but only they. For it is most holy. No sin offering may be eaten by the priest if any of its blood is taken into the tabernacle to make atonement in the holy place. That carcass must be entirely burned with fire before the Lord. Leviticus chapter 7. Here are the instructions concerning the most holy offering for guilt. The sacrificial animal shall be killed at the place where the burnt offering sacrifices are slain, and its blood shall be sprinkled back and forth upon the altar. The priest will offer upon the altar all its fat, including the tail, the fat that covers, including the tail, the fat that covers the insides, the two kidneys, and the loin fat, and the bladder. All shall be set aside for sacrificing. The priest will burn them upon the altar as a guilt offering to the Lord. Only males among the priests may then eat the carcass, and it must be eaten in a holy place. For this is a most holy sacrifice. The same instructions apply to both the sin offering and the guilt offering. The carcass shall be given to the priest who is in charge of the atonement ceremony for his food. When the offering is a burnt sacrifice, the priest who is in charge shall also be given the animal's hide. The priest who present the people's grain offerings to the Lord shall be given whatever remains other sacrifice after the ceremony is completed. This rule applies whether the sacrifice is baked, fried, or grilled. All of the grain offerings, whether mixed with olive oil or dry, or the common property of all sons of Aaron. Here are the instructions concerning the sacrifices given to the Lord as special peace offerings. If it is an offering of thanksgiving, unleavened shortbread shall be included with the sacrifice, along with unleavened wafer spread with olive oil, and loaves from a batter of flour mixed with olive oil. This Thanksgiving peace offering shall be accompanied with loaves of leavened bread. Accompanied with loaves of leavened bread. Part of the sacrifice shall be presented to the Lord by a gesture of waving it before the altar. Then it shall be given to the assisting priest, the one who sprinkles the blood. The one who sprinkles the blood of to the assisting priest, the one who sprinkles the blood of the animal presented for the sacrifice. After the animal has been sacrificed and presented to the Lord as a peace offering, to show special appreciation and thanksgiving to Him. Its meat is to be eaten that same day, and none left to be eaten the next day. However, if someone brings a sacrifice, someone brings a sacrifice that is not for Thanksgiving, but is because of a vow, or is simply a voluntary offering to the Lord, any portion of the sacrifice that is not eaten the day it is sacrificed may be eaten the next day, but anything left over until the third day shall be burned. For if any of it is eaten on the third day, the Lord will not accept it. It will have no value as a sacrifice, and there will be no credit to the one who brought it to be offered, and the priest who eats it shall be guilty, for it is detestable to the Lord And the person who eats it must answer for his sin. Any meat that comes into contact with anything that is ceremonically unclean shall not be eaten, but born. And as for the meat that may be eaten, may be eaten, it may be eaten only by a person who is ceremonically clean. Any priest who is ceremonically unclean, but eats the Thanksgiving offering anyway, shall be cut off from his people, for he has defiled what is sacred. Anyone who touches anything that is ceremonically unclean, whether it is uncleanness from man or beast, and then eats the peace offering, shall be cut off from his people, for he has defiled what is holy. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Tell the people of Israel never to eat fat, whether from oxen, sheep, or goats. The fat of an animal never to eat fat, whether from oxen, sheep, or goats. The fat of an animal that dies of disease or is attacked and killed by wild animals may be used for any other, but may be used for other purposes, but never eaten. Anyone who eats fat from an offering sacrificed by fire to the Lord shall be outlawed from his people. Never eat blood, whether of birds or animals. Anyone who does shall be excommunicated from his people. And the Lord said to Moses, Tell the people of Israel that anyone bringing a Thanksgiving offering to the Lord must bring Thanksgiving offering to the Lord must bring it personally with his own hands. He shall bring the offering of the fat and breast, which is to be presented to the Lord by waving it before the altar. Then the priest shall burn the fat upon the altar, but the breast shall belong to Aaron and his sons, while the right thigh shall be given to the official. While the right thigh shall be given to the officiating priest. For I have designated the breast and thigh as donations from the people of Israel to the sons of Aaron. Aaron and his sons must always be given this portion of the sacrifice. This is their pay. It is to be set apart from the burnt offerings and given to all who have been appointed to minister to the Lord as priests to Aaron and to his sons. For on the day the Lord anointed them, he commanded that the people of Israel give these portions to them. It is their right forever throughout all their generations. These were the instructions concerning the burnt offering, grain offering, sin offering, and guilt offering, and concerning the consecration offering and the peace offering. These instructions were given to Moses by the Lord on Mount Sinai to be passed on to the people of Israel so that they would know how to offer the sacrifices to God in the Sinai desert. Leviticus chapter 8. The Lord said to Moses, "Now bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance of the tabernacle, together with their garments, the anointing oil, the young bull, for the sin offering, the 2 rams, and the basket of bread made without yeast, and summon all Israel to a meeting there." So also all the people assembled, and Moses said to them, What I am now going to do has been commanded by Jehovah. Then he took Aaron and his sons and washed them with water, and he clothed Aaron with a special coat, sash, robe, and the ephod jacket with its beautifully woven belt. Then he put on him the chest piece, and deposited the Urim and the Thummim inside its pouch, and place on Aaron's head the turban with the sacred golden plate at its front, the holy crown, as the Lord had commanded Moses. Then Moses took the anointing oil and sprinkled it upon the tabernacle itself, and on each item in it, sacrificing them. When he came to the altar, he sprinkled it 7 times, and also sprinkled the utensils of the altar and the wash basin and its pedestal to sanctify them. Then he poured the Pour the anointing oil upon Aaron's head, thus setting him apart for his work. Next, Moses placed the robes on Aaron's sons, with the belts and caps, as the Lord had commanded him. Then he took the young bull for the sin offering, and Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon its head, as Moses killed it. He smeared some of the other blood with his finger upon the four horns of the altar, and upon the altar itself to sanctify it, and poured out the rest of the blood at the base of the altar. Thus he sanctified the altar, making atonement for it. He took all the fat, covering the entrails, the fatty mass above the liver, and the two kidneys, and the fat, and burned them all on the altar. The carcass of the young bull, with its hide and dung, was born outside the camp, as the Lord had commanded Moses. Then he presented to the Lord the ram for the burnt offering. Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon its head, and Moses killed it, and sprinkled the blood back and forth upon the altar. Next he quartered the ram, and burned the pieces, the head, and the fat. He then washed the insides and the legs with water, and burned them upon the altar, so that the entire ram was consumed before the Lord. It was a burnt offering that pleased the Lord very much. For Jehovah's directions to Moses were followed in every detail. Then Moses presented the other ram, the ram of consecration. Aaron and his sons laid their hands upon its head. Moses killed it, and took some of its blood, and smeared it upon the lobe of Aaron's right ear, and the thumb of his right hand, and upon the big toe of his right foot. Next he smeared some of the blood upon Aaron's sons, upon the lobes of their right ears, upon their right thumbs, and upon the big toes of their right feet. The rest of the blood he sprinkled back and forth upon the altar. Then he took the fat, the tail, the fat upon the inner organs, the gal bladder, the two kidneys with the fat, and the right shoulder, and place on top of these one unleavened wafer. Unleavened wafer. One wafer spread with olive oil and a slice of bread, all taken from the basket which had been placed there before the Lord. All this all the all this was placed in the all this was placed in the hands of Aaron and his sons to present to the Lord by a gesture of waving them before the altar. Moses then took it all back from them and burned it upon the altar along with the burnt offering to the Lord. And Jehovah was pleased by the offering. Now Moses took the breast and presented it to the Lord by waving it before the altar. This was Moses' portion of the ram of consecration, just as the Lord had instructed him. Next, he took some of the anointing oil and some of the blood some of the blood that had been sprinkled upon the altar, and sprinkled it upon Aaron and upon his clothes and upon his sons and upon their clothes Thus consecrating to the Lord's use Aaron and his sons and their clothes. Then Moses said to Aaron and his sons, boil the meat at the entrance of the tabernacle, and eat it along with the bread that is in the basket of consecration, just as I instructed you to do. Anything left of the meat and bread must be burned. Next he told them not to leave the tabernacle entrance for 7 days, after which time the consecration would be completed, for it takes 7 days. Then Moses stated again that all he had done that day had been commanded by the Lord in order to make atonement for them. And again he warned Aaron and his sons to stay at the entrance of the tabernacle day and night for 7 days. If you leave, he told them, you will die. This is what the Lord has said. So Aaron and his sons did all that the Lord had commanded Moses. Okay, that's all. Bye.